What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, May 20th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all so much. I hope you had a great week, and happy Friday to you all. So let's take a look at this Friday. We are going to see the sun ingress into Gemini. Oh boy, that's exciting. Leaving Taurus. Believe it or not, this was actually a pretty stable 30 days, and I almost can't say that with a straight face because of the eclipses. But we're actually starting to see a lot of the quick change that those eclipses were bringing into our life, and we come into mutable air, and there's going to be a lot of things to process and a lot of truth that's going to show up in your environments and, especially in your personal life. And I think the more mutable we can be, especially on this Friday, and adaptable so that we can, really see the truth and intellectually understand it and make the smart pivots in life and use our common sense, we're going to do much better. Than if we're definitely going to try and stay, kind of just stagnant or in one spot. Like, this is definitely moving things around in a big way. The sun's also going through the Pleiades star cluster, so there's a lot of light, and it's going to meet with Mercury at 0, Gemini, right in the Pleiades, which is actually my part of fortune. Ironically enough, but this is, I think, a big calling, and step up for truth. I think the biggest thing here is truth. That's going to let you transmute darkness. That's going to let you transmute where there's too much light, too. I mean, it's just like we're at a time where truth is going to show up, whether it's the truth of some kind of bypassing, with Neptune here in Pisces and meeting with Jupiter and then Mars, where have we been bypassing life, and just kind of staying stagnant. I think, this Friday kind of like pops the top on that situation, and especially as the sun's going to start working on the sextile over to Jupiter and Mercury's done with the sextile to Jupiter, seeing our story and identifying with it and being honest with ourselves. Right now is just such a time to be honest so that you can adapt and change. It'll help so much. And, we go back to the moon that's going to start off the day in Capricorn and meet with Pluto. And it's also going to make that trine over to the sun at 29 degrees from Capricorn to Taurus. So getting, so much uncovered with the Pluto aspects. And even Mars is working on the sextile over to that. And the moon kind of started off the day with a sextile to Mars and Neptune. It's so much of this is about this purge and this release and uncovering, your highest character, in Capricorn. It's taking the mask off and being really honest and truthful about what you want in your life, where you're going, what the direction, what the trajectory even looks like right now. And, if honestly, be honest with yourself. If you're sitting there wondering, could something be better? The truth is there. It's about, especially with the sun finishing up in Taurus for half today, you can, get really critical at that 29th degree about your value system and what's unique to you with Uranus there, the North Node there. Because the truth is, you really just have to go about your life in the way that is unique to you and that you value, and anything else isn't your truth, So we have to look at our lives and see where we are taking in exterior programming and figure out how to be more in our own integrity, which, isn't always a fun truth to look at. That can be very difficult, or we can want to put the blinders on. Mars is done with Neptune. So, we are starting to see things a little bit more clearly and identify them in a more, productive way. And Mars is going to, start finishing up in Pisces here. So we're definitely in a slippery place where a lot is changing. The moon will also trine over to Mercury retrograde. And it's also going to make a sextile over to Jupiter. So there is that little sextile triangle between Jupiter, the moon, and then the trine over to Mercury in Gemini. And the sun's really a part of that too. And it is this Jupiter and Aries energy, this new story, and expanding, the way you believe and the way you go after life and how you kind of blaze your trail right now by knowing that there's a lot more that maybe we don't know. We have to start. It's almost like starting over. Like if Jupiter's the guru and the know-it-all, well, when it comes back into Aries, we have to start over and start relearning things. And that's where there's beneficial energy, is to kind of disconnect with the moon in Aquarius and even the sun ingressing. So we get those two ingresses on the same day, from earth to air. Gotta, take the realness, take the truth, ground yourself, and then start figuring out how to objectify what it is isn't yours, so that you can go towards what is truly yours without, kicking the can around too much. So it's a big energy, especially as we come into a weekend that gets a little wild, especially Sunday when that moon comes into Pisces, and moon Saturn and squares to Uranus that are coming. There's a lot of things that we really do want to look at right now. And, part of it is just kind of like, we can think things are going just the way we thought they were supposed to go, and that everything's fine. And, this is just where the truth and you being objective and kind of looking at things from a higher perspective today to uncover what it is you do, ultimately want and are here to achieve on a deeper soul level. And, taking initiation for those things, and not just sitting back and, pushing everything to the side. Like, important stuff is coming up right now for important reasons. And I think that's where the Palladian star cluster is trying to give us the ultimate truth and have us, really look towards a lighter side of our life, and really, get out of any stuck positions and not necessarily go backwards. Although Mercury is retrograde in that same spot, having us, rethink where we thought maybe we were doing a great job at, the light work or the spiritual, mission, but where we have to really, internalize what the ultimate truth is. And it's just to, be better, really. And, we can always, every day is a chance to get better, right? And, some days don't feel that way, but I think this Friday is like, uncover the truth, take it for what it is, objectify it, step back out of, your own perspective, and look at things from a grander scale, so that you can come to, a really positive understanding of how to not slip in life right now, but to move forward in whatever way is your most unique identity, and be willing to learn new things right now. Instead of, it's just not a good time to play know-it-all. But at the same time, your intuition does know you, like your I am presence is strong. And Mercury, of course, Venus is getting ready for the sextile over to Saturn, and it's now in the third decan of Aries. So, there's part of this energy that is really looking to identify with the best qualities within yourself, and to be honest and truthful with what isn't, and to start, it's always starting in Aries, starting a better relationship to self, starting a better relationship to others, starting a better relationship to a purpose, to goals, to ambitions. But we have to be honest about, what isn't of that. And, there is a lot of courage right now. So it's like, use the courage, but don't be overly, it's just not a good time to I'm so comfortable, everything's fine. There's always going to be, there's something that we all have to work through, and I think we have to start seeing that again. And, it could have felt like this last Taurus, this last 30 days were actually pretty stable. Maybe they were, or maybe we just put the rose-colored glasses on and weren't paying attention as much as we needed to. We're going to start finding out. Today's a good day where we kind of find out, and then, can we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, and, not let our ego kind of just, this ego that trust me, I'm a big fan of ego. I think we need it. I think we would be very lost without an ego, but it is with Neptune right now, and we got to make sure that we're identifying and putting our ego, where our energy goes, into positive, directions of high character, and what's moving you into a future that is, your unique future, and what's not. Hope you have a great Friday. I appreciate and love you all very much. And we got temperance upright. Letting the divine flow of life and that ultimate higher truth come in and, really guide you right now, because it is the higher truth that's going to show up in the environment right now and show up in personal lives. That's going to be like, hey, you need to see all these angles right now so that you can have things figured out. And maybe we do have to kind of slow down and be in that flow and be in that, place of divinity within ourselves. And maybe that's where we have to disconnect a little with the moon in Aquarius, is from all the noise that is going around, so that we can get back to bigger aspects of where this, cosmic current is actually trying to take you. Ace of Swords upright. Yeah, cutting through the truth. It's going to help so much when, you can just get the download and see the truth of the matter, and then pursue in that direction, because you'll be in that flow and you'll be in that harmonious state. And the Ten of Wands in reverse, it's like we don't want to look at things that we need to let go of right now. And ultimately, once we are able to identify with things that are no longer serving a purpose in our lives, we will be able to cut through in a new direction that is in, a way better state. Just for our own purpose here, and being honest about what that is and what it isn't, and letting that be that guiding light. Love you all very much. Hope you have a beautiful Friday, and I'll see you all for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Much love. Peace.